What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started today, I gotta say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I got a very special video and build in store for y'all. Now, I'm gonna be showing y'all how to create the best two-way slashing playmaker for NBA 2K24 going into the new year out of NBA 2K23. Now, this build today is going to be reminding me of MVP Russell Westbrook, and this is definitely going to be probably, in my opinion, the best point guard build to make starting season 1 of NBA 2K24. Now today, as you can see from the gameplay, with this build we're going to be able to get lockdown, playmaking, slashing, and also sharpshooting takeover. Now, do take into consideration the boost that we're going to be getting on NBA 2K24 from either the Rise or Elite affiliations. Now, the main thing with this build is that we're going to be able to get contact dunks, ISO and dribble, have elite defense, and still be able to maintain an all-around balance. Now, with this build today, it's going to remind me of a few different players: Russell Westbrook, MORANT, Damian Lillard, and even De'Aaron Fox. So look, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with the response. Now for this build, definitely going to be the best 6'3" that you can make starting out NBA 2K24. Now this build is really going to be reminding me of the 2K19 two-way slashing playmakers that we saw that were pretty much able to do everything. Shoot, play lockdown defense, of course ISO, but finishing at the rim is definitely going to be the most important aspect. Especially on 2K24, we all know that finishing was reworked, especially with the layups. So from here, let's go ahead and get started with the creation of this build. So the first thing that we must do is put it under the point guard position. As far as when it comes down to today's breakdown, make sure every single attribute that I put on, as well as the body setting, follows along with how we're making this. So as for the height, I'm going to go with 6'3", and for the weight, put this to 195. And then moving on to that wingspan, I decided to go with 7 feet exactly. Now as for the body shape, I would really consider built, but if you wanted to go with any other choice, that's definitely fine as well. Now from here, we're all set to get started with the breakdown of these attributes, and the first one that I want to start with will be the physicals. So for the speed and acceleration, a build that I'm looking to make out of the point guard position definitely has to have a high speed and excel. So I'm going to go with the 90 for both of these. As for the strength, I'm going to go with the 60. Moving on to the vertical, go with an 80. And as for the stamina, I'm going to go with the 90. Now these numbers will look different in the new 2K, but I know that for sure at the minimum, with an 80 vertical, and once we adjust the driving dunk, we're going to be able to get contact dunks not only in this version of 2K23, but with the same requirements going into NBA 2K24. Now keep in mind, we still get that gym rat badge, the +4 in NBA 2K24. As for the finishing, my close shot, I'm going to put up to an 85. As for the driving layup, I'm going to go with an 80. And moving on to that driving dunk, go ahead and put this to an 83. Now right there, we're going to get a total of 19 badges. This number may look different on 2K24. As for the ones that we're able to unlock, I think this is something similar to what we should be expecting. We're still going to be able to get posterizer, limitless takeoff, all of the most important finishing badges. Now for the shooting, I'm going to go ahead and put my mid-range shot up to a 60. As for this three-pointer, I'm going to go with the 75. And then that free throw, I'm going to put up to an 80. Now we get 10 total badges, but take into consideration this: whichever affiliation you pick, you're going to be able to get permanent shooting boost towards this slashing playmaker. So look, with these 10 badges as well as an additional boost for shooting, I think it's going to make this build all the better when it comes to maxing this out at 99. Now we're going to go ahead and wrap everything up with the shooting right here. As for the playmaking, go with an 86 for the pass accuracy. Moving on to the ball handle, I'm going to go with an 89. And as for the speed with the ball, put this to a 90 for a total of 26 badges. Now the ones that I like most are going to be ankle breaker, special delivery. We also get quick first step, hyperdrive, clamp breaker, killer combos, handles for days. All of these are really good options to pick from. Now going into NBA 2K24, I think this build is a perfect template to go after in the new year. As for the defensive end, I'm going to go ahead and put my perimeter defense up to an 87. As for the steal, I'm going to put this to an 85. And right there, we're just about finished with this build. Moving on to the defensive rebound, I'm going to go with the 61. And then as for that offensive, just to be a little bit more balanced, go with the 50. And right here, this is the max potential of this build. So as you can see, we're going to be able to finish on the inside and still get contact dunks with our takeover. For the shooting, the takeover is going to play a huge factor with this, especially with boost. But when it comes to the playmaking, we're also able to dribble and get every single dribble package needed. And then for the defensive end, I think the badges that we did unlock are going to be pretty similar to what we should be expecting throughout the new year. Now, if you want to make any changes or adjustments, go ahead and do so. And as for these physicals, I don't think that it could get much better than what I'm showing y'all right here. Now also, you will be able to buy your own boosts, run with the teammate that has on Hall of Fame floor general, and also your affiliation is going to allow you to get its own separate boost as well. Now for these takeovers, we get the slashing, sharpshooting, playmaking, and the lockdown. Now to be the best overall for this build, the first one that I would really consider is going to be finishing moves. The second one, if you want to be more of an offensive threat, of course, go ahead and pick limitless range. You can even switch these interchangeable. If you want to go that route, you could even go with playmaking. But I think honestly, the one that would make sense is definitely going to be extreme clamps. Now you can switch this up to go with the sharpshooting takeover, and then this really makes the build even more of a catfish because of the two takeovers that we picked. Now it all comes down to your own preference and playstyle. I'm going to go with the sharpshooting takeover first and then the finishing moves. Let's go ahead and check out the build to make sure that we made it correctly. And if you followed along every single step of the way, we should be getting these three comparisons: Baron Davis, De'Aaron Fox, as well as Drew Holiday. And as y'all can see together, we were able to create the NBA 2K24 template two-way slashing playmaker build on NBA 2K23. Now let me know down below your thoughts and opinion on this build. Are you looking to create something like this out of the point guard position in the new year? And what build are you looking to make starting out first on Season 1 in NBA 2K24? Now as for the potential, remember we get the takeover boost, also the additional boost from our gear, sleeves, leg wear, and then on top of all that, if you run with a teammate that has on Hall of Fame floor general, and then adding your takeover boost. That's going to make a lot of these builds much different from the builder and what it seems. But before we get out of here, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with the response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.